Blog Talk Radio.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D. Welcome to tonight's show. It is, what is it? Oh God, I can't even read right now. 2/24/20. So, yeah, I don't know. My brain just left as I was talking about that. I don't know why it does. It just does. But welcome to tonight's show, guys. Y'all want to say hi?
What's going on?
Hello.
People?
Hey. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, like
right, we got a lot of people on the line tonight.
Yeah. Let's Sonny, introduce our guest co-hosts. Introduce them to the people.
All right, so we got Marc on the line. Marc, you want to say hi?
Hello, everybody. This is Marc.
Eric here.
Hello, everybody. This is Erica of Modern Design Group.
All right, guys. So we're going to let them get their full introductions in a little bit, but let's get this out the way. If you're listening right now, you're on blogtalkradio.com/GFT radio show. And if you listen to the playback, you're on iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, what else? Spotify, YouTube. We everywhere. Google us, GFT Radio. Find us everywhere. Listen to the playback. Give us like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. If you want to support us, go to teespring.com/stores/GFT Radio. Cop that merch. Like I said, we just added some new merchandise to the store, so you can go there and cop it. Support the podcast that you support by listening to us. Support us by buying the merchandise and helping us pay for everything that we pay for, because, you know, podcasts are not cheap. What was I about to say? Oh, yeah, if you want to call in, 657-383-1155. Really, are you holding down Twitter, or you ain't there yet? Because I don't want
Yeah.
All right, we're on Twitter, guys. If you want to join the conversation or add your 2 cents, go to Twitter, GFT_radio, and let your voice be heard. So we're going to, it's Black History Month. You know, we continue what we've been doing all month long is highlighting people or sharing poetry through Black History Month. So, who wants to go first, guys?
I'll go first, since I wasn't here.
All right, go ahead.
All right, everybody know I love to read and I like writers. So, my guy today is Dennis Kimbrough. Dennis Kimbrough is an author and a vocal supporter of self-help for African Americans. His best-selling books and popular lectures are meant to encourage Black entrepreneurship. Nothing less, he might say, than the creation of a legion of Black self-made millionaires. The director of Clark Atlanta University Center for Entrepreneurship, Kimbrough designs courses and programs that show minority students how to start their own businesses and how to make those businesses grow and succeed. His ideas are outlined in his 1991 book, Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, a work USA Today reporter Rhonda Richards described as a Bible for the would-be Black capitalist. Also, one of my favorite books from his is The Wealth Choice. I read that a few years ago. It's dope. I mean, he definitely promotes Black entrepreneurship, do for self type. You know, that's his thing. And the book about the wealth choice is more so. It's not just about money. It's about a way of life. You know what I mean? You have to live it. You feel me? It's more than just money. You know what I mean? Wealth is family. Wealth is, the people you reach, the people you touch. So that's what I wanted to highlight today. Dennis Kimbrough.
All right, that's dope.
No doubt.
And it's the point what you're doing.
Say that again?
I said right on point with what we've been doing this last couple of weeks is talking about entrepreneurship. Exactly. So it's dope. That's dope. Exactly. Willie, or you want me to go?
You go ahead.
All right, guys. So I am going to highlight Mrs. Allison Dunnigan. Allison Dunnigan was the first African American female White House correspondent. You know, dealing with the president, you know what that is. She was also the first Black female member of the Senate of House Representatives Gallery. She loves writing. Her love for writing began when she was 13, penning one-sentence pieces in the Owensboro Enterprise. She became a chief of the Associated Negro Press in 1947, which would allow her a year later to become the first African American to follow the president out on campaigns across the road. even though she had to pay her way through her job of covering Harry Truman on his Western campaign trail, she would finally receive the respect she deserved when JFK was elected. She would serve as an educational consultant on the President's Committee on Equal Opportunity until 1965. So I definitely wanted to highlight her because that's something moving. We don't really talk about. I mean, not that we don't, but we don't really highlight a lot of women in history. We normally go to the normal people, and I thought that it was dope to kind of highlight somebody that was in the White House and doing different things that we see other people do nowadays, and knowing that she was the first African American female to do it. So definitely wanted to highlight her.
No doubt.
So,
right?
Yeah. Always appreciate. Oh, my bad, Willie. I just wanted to say I always appreciate when you put or highlight people like you said that has lesser visibility or lesser names. You know what I mean? Who impacted and did positive things. You feel me? Because they need to be highlighted as well.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I decided today, after hearing the news about the passing of this young lady, that I wanted to honor her. This is so my person I chose today was Catherine Coleman Goebel Johnson. If you've seen the movie Hidden Figures, she was one of the computers, one of the young ladies that was featured in that movie. She's best known as a NASA employee who was able to successfully plot out trajectories and launch windows for the space shuttles and be able to get the rockets rather at that time to get the man onto the moon. So she was highlighted in that film along with the other two young ladies that was in that movie. Today was the day she passed. She just passed today at the age of 100, and she's 101 today. She would have been 102 later this year. But yeah, so she, pioneer, mathematician, first African American woman to work as a NASA scientist, as an official NASA scientist. I'm sorry, say it again.
I think that was Taraji P's character, the one that was doing all the math.
Correct.
Medical.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm, yeah, she was. Taraji P. Portrayed her in the film. Another big point about her is that in 2015 she was given the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Barack Obama, as well as in 2019 she was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal. So highly awarded, highly acclimated, and acclaimed scientist, and definitely a hero for Black history and for scientists, especially female scientists everywhere. So, Katherine Johnson.
Yeah, that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she accomplished a lot in her life, and
yeah, definitely.
got to pay homage to those who came before.
Right. No doubt. I mean, not only for black people, but for women in general. Just because there was definitely a low level of respect for women as scientists at that time, and for women to be in government positions like that. So that was she broke through for a lot of different classes there.
That's dope. So you guys, we always got to learn our history. We got to learn each and every day that we can to learn where we come from, the people we come from, just about our people in general, and the history-making steps that these people have made, whether it's past, present, or future. So we just always have to remind and educate not only educate ourselves, but educate our children. There's more than, not that we don't learn Martin Luther Kings and different people throughout the history, but we learn about these people every Black history, but we want to learn more about other people, and with that made history. So also, it's not to discredit them, but it's to learn more.
And also, a lot of those people that you don't hear about, they paved the way for a lot of things that we don't even know about, because, like you said, they're not the ones that were spotlighted, like the Dr. Martin Luther Kings and the Rosa Parks and stuff like that. So it's always good to go and do your own research, and find out about, like you said, other people, other historians that have done things that pretty much paved the way to, pretty much have us in the position that we are in today.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Hey, brother Mark.
Can
Go ahead, I'm
I
sorry.
because I wanted to piggyback off Willie. Now I mean, jump right into. I wanted to piggyback how he was talking about the women, how he paved the way, and Alkia. I want to pronounce her name right. Alkia, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah, you got it right. Yeah.
Yeah. You're a business owner because we're going to talk about Black history. We got two people in the line making Black history. Two business owners. I wanted to talk to you from a woman's perspective because about running a business. What challenges have you ran into as being a woman business owner?
Not being taken seriously. A lot of times people think that I'm the face, and I actually do the work. So especially men, I mean, they look for a team of men to be behind me. And I do have that, but I do majority of the work myself, and I pride myself on saying that I paint very well. I like to say that I paint better than most men, and that's it's the truth.
Hey, most of the women I know paint better than men.
Yeah.
Right.
So that has been a challenge for me to be seen as the face, not to just be seen as the face of the company, because I'm very passionate about my work. I go to classes all around the country to learn new things, and for someone to look for someone else to be behind it was insulting at first, but I now know that it's just not popular. So they don't look for a woman to be doing the work. They look for a woman that had an idea. So that's been one of my challenges.
Yeah.
Oh.
Especially in
And
that field.
also for men not to try to talk to me, because it's like, oh, you paint? Yeah, I need my room painted. But really, they don't want that. They just want your number, and they just want to converse with you. And I'm flattered, but I'm good.
Yep, and that's the same thing. Same here. You get that on that end too. People do the same thing. They, I'm going to call you and this and that, and then they call and it's like it's nothing about business. It's like when I spoke to you, when we talk. Yeah. So it's a lot of that.
Well, before we get all into that, I want you guys to each talk about your businesses and what exactly it is you do, and any way that people can contact you. So since Clint started off with Erikia, I want to start it off with her as well.
So what I do is I have a painting business. I do custom paint jobs, Venetian wall plasters, all different type of faux effects. I also do basic painting. I'm also an interior designer. So I'm a one-stop shop when it comes to getting your home prepared. And some people just don't have that eye, or they just don't know how to put it together, or they just don't have the time. So I like to say that I make people's houses homes. You can reach me on Instagram, Facebook. My phone number is 609-285-3916, and I've been in business for the last 3 years.
Okay. Mark?
Yeah. Hello again, everyone. Marc Highsmith, owner of High Expectations Cleaning Services. Been in business for almost 2 years now. We specialize in carpet cleaning, home and office cleaning, stripping and waxing, tile and grout, window cleaning, pressure washing. What else? Yeah, I mean, we do a lot. And just like Eric Kidd said, we're pretty much like one-stop shop when it comes to, the cleaning part of the home, So that's pretty much what we do. And like I said, again, we've been in business for almost 2 years now.
That's dope. That's dope. I want to know what made you guys start your businesses. Like, what was it like? It's one thing to know that you can do something. It's another thing to say, you know what, I'm about to start a business.
Well, I was out of work. I was actually out on disability. Like, I wasn't supposed to be doing anything, but it had been like 3 months, and I didn't have like one check yet. And I always painted. I bought my first house when I was 21, and I was, the end all be all for whatever was going on in there. So I always painted. I helped my friends, family, but I never thought that people would like pay me for it. And basically, my cousin was like, "Oh, I need to get my room painted," and I was like, "I'll do it." And she was like, "Yeah, I just need to pay somebody to do it." And I was like, "I'll do it." She just said, "Okay," and she paid me, and I was like, "You gonna pay me for this?" And once I realized that people would pay for that service, like I just posted it online, and I started getting inquiries, and I saw that people were serious about it, and I thought of it as a way to supplement my income once I got, a steady income and not have to have, as a single mom, not trying to have 2 and 3 jobs away from my son. So I figured if I do what I love, I can make money at it, and it's something I can do in my spare time on the weekends, and I still will be able to spend good time with my son.
That's dope.
Thank you.
Well, yeah. And for me, I don't know. It's crazy because I never I've known Eric here for a long time, but I never knew. That's my first time hearing her story, and her story is pretty similar to mine. I was out of work. I was out of work kind of because my mom had passed away, so we were kind of caring for her during her last time, and my job pretty much kind of kicked me in my ass, if I can cuss on here. I don't know, but it kicked me in my behind. But so
they
turned it back on me. So like I said, I was out of work, just pretty much not knowing what to do, and I already pretty much had the business. I already had everything in line as far as what I wanted to do, and honestly, I started my business. With I had $500. That was all I had to my name. $500. I had a brand new car that I had just bought, and I had the payments on that, and every other bill, and I just didn't know what to do. At the time, my credit is pretty much what got me. Everything started with my business. I had good credit, so that's pretty much how I got everything. But to make a long story short, I pretty much just took a chance. I got a brand new van. I went, like I said, my credit was good, so I got all my equipment and everything, and I pretty much took a chance. I didn't know where I was going as far as how to market or how to advertise myself. All I knew was that, I kind of have a little buzz. I kind of have a tight network, so I figured I could start off with that and try to work my way from that. And my people already knew my reputation because I was working for a carpet cleaning company. So that's what I pretty much started out as, because that's the only equipment I had was carpet cleaning. And then, as everything started growing, it pretty much expanded to the window cleaning and the auto detailing. I already knew how to do all this stuff. I just didn't have, anything in the budget to add the tools I needed to add those services in, So I pretty much just grinded off the carpet cleaning until, I got it to the point where I can pretty much provide all the services that we offer now.
Oh, wow. That's dope.
All right.
That's real dope.
Hold on. I want to see their thing is before. Yeah, they've been on waiting for a little bit, and I apologize. Hold on. So I got him on caller. You're on the line with GS Radio. What's your name? Hello? Okay, I don't know.
I could barely hear. I could hear somebody, but I could barely hear him.
Yeah, I could hear him. Yeah. He's mumbling.
Probably just put him back on mute for now.
All right,
yeah,
I'm going to
put him back on mute.
Yeah.
All right. It dropped. So assuming it's dropped. If you want to call back in, call back in. Josh, you have a question?
I just wanted to piggyback off what they were saying, because it's a common theme to necessity. I forget how the saying goes, what necessity breeds ingenuity or something like that. To where because just like her, just like our kid, and just like the brother Marc, same thing with me. Out of job, or I was on disability, and you had to find a way. You know what I mean? You had to.
Yeah.
You feel me? You had to figure something out. Yeah, the bills ain't going to stop. And we all had the motivations. you know, we all have our own personal motivations, and so then, you feel me, like the brother said, one thing I want the brother to talk about is what he had is what a lot of us need to get. Skills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had skills. So and just like the sister, she had a skill set. You know what I mean? She know how to paint. So she put her skill set to work. The brother had a skill set. You know what I mean? Like he said, all he needed was the tools. Once he got the tools, he took it to another level.
Exactly.
You feel me? So
all
like
that stuff,
that's
like I pretty much self-taught myself all that stuff, and now, like I tell everybody now, I really take this stuff serious. I'm in the house literally 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day on the computer. I've been on the computer. I detailed. I did a half a detail and I did a full detail. So pretty much I detailed 2 cars today. After I detailed 2 cars, I had so many emails and phone calls and things like that to respond back to, and so I'm pretty much still working because, you know, with this, you know, with the business thing, like when you're doing it, your small business and you're doing everything on your own in the beginning, you got to be hands-on with everything because you're pretty much laying the foundation and the structure of what your business is going to be. You know what I mean?
True that.
So I take this serious, and I'm saying that to say, like, I'm on blogs. I'm on, like, people doing on social media, I don't do anymore. I'm on social media trying to learn ways to perfect my craft. Like I can tell you different type of pHs. I could tell you something, a household mixture to make right now to get a red stain out your carpet, like stuff like that. So I take it real serious because the more I learn, the more I can offer, the more I can grow. You know?
Right.
I don't want to just be stagnant with this. I want this business to be more than just what it is at some point. You know, they say you're supposed to have 5 different hustles, and even though I offer different services, they're all under the one umbrella right now. Like I have a whole lot of different plans, you know, a whole lot of different things I'm trying to do. It's all still going to be high expectations, but it's going to be like high expectations, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Something like that. So got a whole lot of stuff, man. Got a whole lot.
I know that promotion is always the biggest thing. We like, even when we talk about when we talk with the podcasting, you always have to promote. Like you have to be mindful of everything. You always promoting in some form or fashion, whether it's wearing a logo shirt or something that people to see what you're doing. And I think that, and I always tell my friends that either have a business, do music, or whatever the case may be. I find myself, and I crack up, I find myself telling them promotion is key because we always have to do it. For podcasting, we always have to get people listening. Have the right topics. Because podcasting, bringing money, has to be.
And everything is free now. All this stuff that all the tools are here for us to do all this stuff for free. You ain't really got to pay nobody to advertise.
Right.
You just gotta have that time and energy. Like I'm just to the point now where my page is like a commercial. All my pages are like commercials. Even my personal Instagram page, I made it to be personal, but now I done ended up putting the same business stuff that I put. So I'm just promoting. I'm promoting other people's stuff and all that. So the more you promote other people's stuff and people promote your stuff, it opens up new networks because their people are seeing what they're sharing and your people are seeing what you're sharing for them. So it opens up new networks. And I always get new people that's interested from all over, like in my service or whatever. So I just try to give 150, 200%, 1,000%, everything, like with the business. Yeah. And I tell people, like, regardless if you spend $50 or $500, you still gonna get the same effort out of me. Like none of my customers ever say like I've slouched. When I come into your house, I'm doing it like it's mine. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm OCD, so.
Hold on, guys. The caller call back on and get them in.
Okay.
Caller, you're on the line with GFT Radio. What's your name? You got them now?
No, I think they probably just calling to listen in. I think they probably.
Oh, maybe that's for me.
Oh. Hello?
You said for her?
Okay, did I hear somebody say hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, here they go.
Oh, hi. My name is Edwin. I'm just here to listen.
Oh, that's why we keep adding you in. I apologize.
Yeah. I told you, I think she was just trying to.
All right, so back on me.
I just also one of the key things that y'all were talking about that's key too in business is foresight. You feel me?
Yes.
And with brother was talking about foresight and keep growing. Don't become stagnant. That's the word he used, because everything that's stagnant dies. So if you know what I mean, and that applies to business even more so. If you stay the same, you don't alter your promotion, you don't alter your services or upgrade, not necessarily alter, or just upgrade and improve on your services. Right. Somebody gonna come in, you feel me, and steal your whole clientele. You feel me? It never fails. It always happens that way. So one thing I always tell people about business is continue, like y'all said, continue to learn, continue to improve it, but also have foresight. You know what I mean? Right. Try to see where that tide going. You know what I mean? Right. Because you get stuck, you get comfortable. Don't get comfortable. You know what I mean? Comfortable. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the kind of death right there.
Yeah, I want to jump on that part right there, because one thing about having the foresight is it's the research a lot of times too. You got to research your market. You got to research your customers' wants and needs, because just because you're offering a service doesn't mean everybody needs it, or just because you're offering a service that you think everybody needs doesn't mean they want it from you. So you got to think about what are people either willing to pay for, or what are people looking to bundle in. One thing I was finding when I was doing graphic design was people didn't have pictures, and it would be simple things like, oh, I want to put a picture of a car on my flyer, and I'll go, okay, well, where's the picture of the car? Oh, well, I really want to put this car, but I don't have a picture of it. And it's like, all right, so I started taking pictures for people and adding that in as an additional service to enhance what I was already doing for them, and that took off. And then I went from there to doing videography, and then next thing I know, I was doing editing for people's commercials. So it just, when you start growing the services towards the things that people need, and like you said, it's kind of having foresight, but also it's about just understanding the needs and the requirements of your customers, and sometimes breaking into an area that may just enhance what you're doing. Because the big thing is people kind of look to you to be the expert, and I'm sure especially when it comes to like the painting that Erica is doing, people probably look at her like, I don't know what you need, I don't know what you want from me, or things like that, and you probably have to come up with suggestions. So it's like a lot of times people they want you to do something for them, but they don't know what they want. So
exactly. I always say the services that I offer are a want service. It's not a need. You never need to paint. You want to paint, or you want to customize, your home or your office and things like that. So I had to learn that people don't always want to pay for what they want also.
Right.
So I had to learn, one, to invest in myself first before I did anything else, and that was like I said, I had to go around the country
Picasso painting, but they want to pay 50 price.
Right. So I had to learn,
no doubt,
to price myself. So I had to invest in a class, because unfortunately, like, I went to men in the city that I live in, and it would seem like nobody could really tell me how to gauge, how to price stuff out. But then I realized, like, they was underpricing stuff themselves. Once I went to Atlanta, I went all the way to Atlanta to take a 3-day class, and this woman taught me so much in 3 days that I came back and was like, yep, this is how I'm going to price it. And I started seeing traction after that. So you got to give a little to get a lot, I believe. And that giving a little is investing in yourself, whatever that is. I mean, YouTube videos. Some of these guys, one of these guys, I'm like, Idaho Painter, I love him. I texted him one day. He put his number up, and I texted him like, hey, what kind of brushes do you use? And we had a whole hour-long conversation just about brushes. But now, like, don't tell me about no brushes and no brushes now. Like, I know, before I had to spend the money, and money that I really didn't have in reality, to be trying out this different stuff to see what worked for me. And then I had to also break free of trying to let everybody else figure it out for me, and kind of had to figure stuff out for myself. Because, like me, I'm a woman. Most men, they paint with gloves, but gloves are for regular-sized hands. I got small hands. So when I would try to do it, I'm dragging the gloves all in the paint, and then I got to clean up after myself and getting all aggravated. I'm like, just take these gloves off and wash your hands later and deal with that. So I just, I say the first thing you got to learn in business is invest in yourself.
Right.
And investing in your craft.
Yeah. I mean, I do want to stress her point about pricing, though. I mean, a lot of times, especially, I mean, there's two things that goes against most of us starting in a new business. One, we're new, and then two, we don't know, or we can't get anybody to tell us, what we should be doing. And I mean, I had the same problem when I started off. I had a partner later on when she was getting started, and she would say, what should I charge? And it's like, it's hard for people to feel like they can charge something. Like, I think you mentioned that earlier, Eric, here, that you didn't even think about charging the first person you did a job for.
Nope.
It's like you really kind of feel like, hey, this is just a thing I know how to do. I feel confident in myself, but I really don't feel comfortable either charging or charging a lot. And sometimes we have to get over that fear because you got to survive. And like Clint brought up earlier, most of the time we're in these businesses to survive because we've either lost a job or we can't find work in our in our career area that we really want to be in, or it's just a rough time in our lives where we're trying to come out of the hole. So price yourself in a competitive nature, but also keep in mind that you got to survive, you got to live, and value your not only yourself but value your talent. If your talent is up
service, the service we're offering,
exactly, the service.
I was doing the same thing. Like, I'm still, like, even now, look, I'm still learning pricing because, like I said, I offer so much, and then I'm looking at other businesses and stuff, like, so I'm trying to be competitive, but just like you said, I'm also, I know what I'm coming in there, and I know what I'm doing. I know what type of service you're getting. So for me, it's just like I said, I'm still learning that, and I'm doing the same thing that Eric is doing. I'm actually getting ready to take a couple of classes, and then I have a couple of conventions and a couple of other events that are coming up that's going to be real helpful. So like I said, with me, it's just about, like, just growing and expanding and just learning more, because there's so many tricks within whatever it is you do. Is always other ways to, even within that bigger service, there's always ways to break it down. Like, for instance, for me, I do carpet cleaning, so I'll say the carpet cleaning is the biggest service. I'm coming to your house, I'm doing the carpet cleaning. Now, to break down extra stuff that I can get off the carpet cleaning, if I come into your house and your carpet has rust stains on it or red juice stains, that's not going to come out with the traditional carpet cleaning. So now that's where I can come in and start breaking down other things. Like, look, I can get this out, but it's going to take a different type of process, different procedure or whatever, and it's going to cost you because I'm using a different chemical. And like you said, people who have to pay for this service, they also have to realize that certain chemicals and certain things that we have to pay for, so in turn, you have to pay for it. You know what I mean? So that's where I can make the bigger thing into a smaller thing, make smaller portions out of that as well too. So I'm gonna give you a number, make it into a number. If I go into someone's house and I'm doing, let's say, $150 worth of carpet cleaning, that's pretty much like 3 or 4 rooms of carpet cleaning locally. That's how much that would be, somewhere around that. And then I would do, if they had rust stains, I could charge pretty much like $40 per stain. And it could be up to like a 3 centimeter stain. So 2 of those are $40, $80. I done made an extra almost $100, and that's only going to take me 20 minutes to do. So it's always ways. And some people don't want to pay that. They're like, well, they think you're trying to get over. And I always say, I'm never trying to get over. These are just my recommendations. As a professional, you always give the customer your recommendation. It's up to the customer to decide if they want to go at the work, because it's just like when you go into the auto shop. If you go into an auto shop for an oil change and they see that you have transmission fluid leaking, it's their job for them to tell you. Now, if you want to get it done, if you want to get it done, they're going to say, okay, it costs this much. We're not trying to get over, but yes, if we do it, we have to make money off of it. If you say you don't want it done, when you say you don't want it done, yes, exactly. You say you don't want it done, we're going to notate that in your invoice. Advise customer that transmission was leaking, customer declined, so that way we don't have any issues. We cover ourselves, but we also let you know that you have a problem going on. So you just have to, like you said, you got to cover yourself. You got to know your stuff. Because people will try to get over it, and people will test you.
Yes, they will.
Because I have people, ask me questions about square footage and this and that, and I have to pretty much sell myself. I'm on the phone with customers for
that's what we doing.
15, 20 minutes, getting to know them, making them understand me like, oh, well, can you send me your license? Can you send me your insurance information? Can you tell me about the background of your employees? And you have to make these customers, you're providing a service. You come into these customers' homes. You have to make them comfortable, and if you don't make them comfortable, guess what? They're going to call somebody else. So, it's a lot that goes on.
One thing I also, our kid brought up, how she reached out to the guy from, I forget what state you said he was in, but you reached out to him
Idaho,
for advice.
Oregon,
Idaho,
Idaho, yeah.
So you reached out. One thing I always tell people is, even with me, like, one of the things I do is mobile notary. So, really, I don't know too many people in my area who do it. And sometimes, like y'all said, go on the internet, you get a lot of information, you do your own little studying. But one thing I always tell people who run a business is get a mentor. Mentoring is key. And sometimes, it may be hard to find a mentor, but you got to go search out. And you got to be willing to learn.
And say that, though.
Because...
Go ahead, I'm going to let you finish. I'm going to let you finish. I'm going to jump in.
Because, sometimes it's hard to get a mentor because in the business it's competitive. So most people don't want to mentor you because they don't want you to get in on their business. So one of the other things, that's why I wanted to point out what she did, was she reached out to somewhere to where I'm not even going to find a mentor to where y'all not going to come to conflict with all business.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly, and that'll help you. But always, because like you said, you got to get knowledge from somewhere, and sometimes the game is to be sold, not told. So you got to figure it. You got to figure it out. And as far as pricing, that was one of the things that I had to learn. You feel me? Because I didn't want to short myself. I know it's a certain things. You feel me? Legally, I can only price at a certain price. I can't go over. You know what I mean? But other things, is a variance into how people price things. You feel me? To how many documents, how many signatures, what type of documents. You know what I mean? So I need to get information from somebody who's been doing it for a minute. It's like, bro, sis, how you been doing this? How you been pricing?
Yeah.
Did you start off on a discount, and then when you build your clientele, you went up? Like, how did you do this? You know what I mean? Or how did you get more clients? But I always, like she said, that was one of the best things I did, was reach out to somebody who don't got nothing to do with what I got going on for advice.
Right.
And what's crazy? When I started,
go ahead, Sonny.
So when I'm sorry, huh?
I said, go ahead, Sonny.
Oh, no. So when I started college, I was a hustler because, you had a little side hustle. So I used to hustle off of making papers, like writing papers for people. And I remember it just got what Clint brought it back to me. What I used to do was, so I used to sit in the student lounge all day and write my paper for class. I was good at writing for whatever reason. Like, we podcast, blog, all that. So poetry and all that. So it was writing for me is like second nature. So I was sitting in the class, and I'd be in the class getting A's. They'd be like, why you always getting A's? I'm like, because I like English. I had to learn how to, structure stuff, how to, do all that, cite my source, all that, and all that stuff. And so to me, it was second nature. So I was in class getting A's, and then I had somebody hit me up and was like, hey, can you help me with my paper? And, is one thing. And, so when I helped them with their paper, I broke it down because, people write how they talk sometimes. So I had to decipher that and structure it into, a legitimate college paper. And I remember the first time I did it, and the person actually paid me because of how I had to get their paper, together. So I was like, I can make money off this. So I started doing that. It was like $2 a page, depending on how many spaces. Like I had looked it up, Google, talked to some people about if I was going to do this, how I was going to make money off of this. When I tell you I was caking up in that college, I was caking up because if I had to figure out what the hell you wrote on your paper to start it from, to figure it out, that was more work for me. If I started from beginning to end by myself, and depending on what type of grade you wanted, it's bad now that I was doing it, but I was doing it. I was making money off of that shit, like for real. And I talked to somebody that was doing the same thing I was doing, and it was like I had to figure out how to price it because if you had to do the research, I had to do all this. When you write a paper, you got to write a paper. Like college papers ain't nothing like high school.
Yeah.
Right, no doubt.
People go locking themselves in their dorm rooms to try to write them papers.
My mom was like, why you get so much money? I was like, when I got my rent check, I was trying to figure out what the hell that was because I was caking up. I was like, what's this? So I got to go back to college. What's happening? I don't know what this is. Laptop, I had a printer. I was doing papers every day. But that's how and then I had a little promotion. I did low-key promote because you really can't promote that in college. But I was low-key promoting so my friends tell their friends, and then by the time I was doing 20, 30 papers, midterms, I had 30 papers lined up, not including the ones that were I had to wait list people. Wait a minute, let me.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I could do it, but I can't promise it right now. But line you up.
Well, that brings up a good question too. Is how do you guys handle surges or spikes in your clientele? In jobs coming through to you. How do you deal with an onrush of new jobs and managing that kind of traffic?
I'm gonna speak on that first because I just had that pretty much Sunday and today. And for me, I driving. I feel like I'm going crazy sometimes because especially because my work is hands on. So a lot of times I can't pick up. I mean, not that I can't because I'm the owner, so to speak. But it's still if I'm in someone's house, I'm not going to be answering the phone because I have to be professional. But at the same time, I'm looking okay, this is the customer, this is the customer, and if I don't call them back, there's the potential that I may lose a potential customer, and I'm not in a position right now to where I'm pretty much still building. Like I said, I'm still in the building stage. I'm not even 2 years in. So I just pretty much, my foundation is still not even set. Foundation really is not set until 3 years, and then you pretty much build. That's what you pretty much kind of know. And then just to go back real quick off the mentoring thing, I actually do have a mentor, but I'm not going to mention because, just because of his stature, I'm not going to mention it, but I do have a mentor who he's really skilled. So everything I've learned, I pretty much learned from him. I go to his state. He's not in the same state, so just like you said, there's no conflict of interest as far as anybody trying to get any jobs or anything like that. But he also sends me jobs because he doesn't provide carpet cleaning service, so he also sends me jobs, And if I have jobs down that way, I send him jobs. But he trains me anytime I need information or something. I can call him and get that information. And as you said, you need that because a lot of times you have questions and you need to hear from somebody because you can Google anything, and that's just whatever they tell you, whoever they are, whoever put it up there. But if you have somebody that's actually hands on that you can trust and you actually see them doing it, then that pretty much helps you understand more of what's going on. Because a lot of times, like you said, you need to actually hear it from somebody that knows it.
Mm-hmm.
And to speak on Willie, to speak what Willie was talking about the surges, we talked about that. I think one of the other. We talked about that because I had experienced that before, and I was saying if you're not prepared, that's what happened to me. I wasn't prepared for the surge. You know what I mean? Right. I wasn't prepared for success. You feel me? I was in the stages like, all right, I'm just going to be gradual. I'm going to do this gradually, and then next thing you know, that phone started ringing, and it became overwhelming. it's like, yo, it didn't stop raining. And so then I'm like, all right, now I need a support system.
I'm glad you're saying that, bro, because I need to hear that. I need to hear that.
So, yeah, but you need a support system, and you need people who see your vision, who believe in your vision. Because if you don't got people around you who can see your vision or believe in your vision, it's not going to work. You feel me?
Yeah.
So when you hit those downturns, when things start happening, when funds get low, equipment start breaking, you need new equipment. You're going to need people, investors, and people around you to help you, to believe in you. Because I'm telling you, if you're not, if that foundation not set, and all that come at it, prosperity can crumble you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If
And
you
that's
don't know
why
how to handle prosperity,
even in the stages of foundation, I'm still building the foundation. Like I said, it ain't been 2 years. I'm still learning. I learn stuff every single day. I learn something, and that's why that's how I just get better at everything. But just like I said, at my foundation, I'm still like, wow, where am I going? Like, I know where I'm going, but it's like, just like you said, it's get to that point some days, like today, like every time I try to get up, is to take a shower. It's just, I got to respond back because I got to get this. I can't, if I don't, they're going to go to somebody else. So I got to respond back to everything. I got to get it, you know? And like I said, I'm working on that support thing now as far as teaching somebody else and having somebody around. Like I said, at the same time, I just had to make sure I had it down packed enough so that I could teach
let me
somebody
caution
the right
you
way
on
as
something.
far as like
Let me caution you on something. Because that was my main problem. If I don't get this client, they're gonna find somebody else, and I'm not gonna be able to replace it. You feel me? You gotta. Sometimes you really just, first thing you gotta do is you gotta look in your mirror, look at yourself, know where you at, and you gotta look at your plate. You understand? You gotta look at your plate. You gotta be honest with yourself. What can I handle? You feel me? Because when you start putting too much on your plate, now it's gonna start getting messy.
Right. Yeah.
You're gonna start getting sloppy. You're gonna cut a corner here because you want to get that corner over there. You know what I mean? And it's not gonna be. And sometimes it's not even gonna be like an actual thing that you're trying to do purposefully. It's just that you're going to try to please everybody, and we always know what happens.
You definitely don't want to do that.
When you try to please everybody,
and honestly, bro, like on that note, like when I'm saying getting back, I honestly I turned down a lot of stuff. So I try to keep that balance because just like you said, I always, because like I said, a lot of the jobs I do, I'm doing by myself. So it's only maybe 2 or 3 days out of the week that I have somebody with me. And a lot of times when I have somebody with me, it's just because of I just need them at that point. Not saying like because I appreciate everybody that works with me, but most of the time I could pretty much do it on my own. But at the same time, I need somebody under me just in case. Like I said, if anything happens, and I need to be a trainer, you know what I mean? So I need that as well too. But like I said, I do keep that balance. Sometimes I don't even schedule. I always try to not schedule myself on, you know what I mean, maybe one day a week or whatever, something like that, just to sit back and look at everything to make sure I'm not overdoing anything and stuff like that or whatever. Like I'm not even taking no calls or anything. I'm just pretty much putting together everything that was kind of scrambled throughout the week or whatever. So
I got I got a question from Twitter. One of the people listening in, they're on Twitter. They had a question. This is from at Skrillarilla, one of our regular listeners.
Absolutely.
He wants to know.
Hold on. My fault, Willie, because he's gonna cuss me out if he let you butcher his name like that. Skrilla Gorilla.
No, that's his Twitter name. I don't know what his real name is. His Twitter name is Skrillarilla. So how bad if that's his Clinton, no, he go by Skrilla Gorilla, but yeah. His Twitter.
Don't do him like y'all be doing me. Names. Don't do that.
No. I didn't mess it up. His name is Skrillarilla, but that's his Twitter name. So I'll correct it. That's his Twitter handle. Anyway, let's get back to the question. So he just laughed. He felt you. So anyway, going back to his question. His question is back to the situation with the advertising, with the promotion, and he says, how would you go about starting a business in the social media era if you're antisocial, and not like hating people antisocial, but like the recluse type of hating of antisocial. So more like an introvert, person who just doesn't want to put their stuff out there, doesn't really get on the Twitter and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. He wants to know what how do you go about doing it that way?
That's problematic.
I would say, I don't think so, because what those that can't teach do. So I would say you find a service that will provide. I mean, there's services that will do that for you. There's apps that will time your posts. I just found this out, that there's a couple of posts for you, and you can you just set it and it goes. But I mean, I know like you.
I think we.
Not for nothing, you got these little cousins who stay on their phone anyway. Give them a couple of dollars and let them manage your account and post things for you. I don't.
That too.
I think you can be innovative. You don't have to be immersed in social media. And in all honesty, most of my business that I get is never from social media. It's usually from word of mouth. Because what I found out is people. It depends on the field that you're in. For me, the service I provide, people, homes, things like that, being intimate, moving their furniture around, things like that. People who have the money for the services that I provide, they usually don't hire people off of Instagram or Facebook. They hire people from
and also,
their
they also have you could hire a virtual assistant. He could pretty much just be back and forth in contact with that person.
Yep.
And they pretty much do exactly what you tell you. Like, I was actually considering that. Like, I know somebody personally that does it. That's really good at it. I'm still actually considering it, just so that it takes some of the weight off my shoulders, because I'm out in the field a lot. So, like I said, that takes some of the weight off my shoulders as far as the scheduling and stuff like that. Pretty much all I had to do was just come and just look over everything, make sure everything was done the way it was supposed to be at the end of the day.
Right.
And then like like what you said as well, like most of your stuff is word of mouth. Like, I mean, most of my stuff is word of mouth, but it's word of mouth through social media. Like, I'll do somebody, I'll do something on a job, and then somebody will post it on social media, and then I'll start getting a lot of inboxes and stuff like that. Or I'll post something, and then something like that. So, I mean, and then I get people, like, I actually just had a lady, she's coming from Milwaukee. She's coming from Milwaukee. She's moving to New Jersey. And I don't know, she said, I was referred to you. She said, I checked your website. I loved everything. She said, I want you to do our house before we come in. So she pretty much got a word from mouth. And I'm like, and then I had somebody call me from Atlanta, like people offering to pay me to come to Atlanta to do their house. And, so it's crazy. Like, it's funny, but it's crazy.
Yeah, but
I think you have to learn to play whatever your weaknesses are. Like, you got to really be honest and assess yourself. Like,
exactly.
Like you said, like I'm not a social media type of person, so that's really my weakness. I might put something on my personal page, but I'm just not in my phone. I try not to be in my phone all the time. But there's ways to work around that. So I think you just have to be really honest and assess with yourself. Like, you can't say, you're a closet organizer and you're really not organized. Now, you may have the vision of how it can look and, the way you would love to put that look together, but you yourself are not an organized person that thinks in that way. So you got to play up your strengths and your weaknesses, and whatever, wherever you're weak at, either you're going to work on it or you're going to pay somebody else to handle it for you, because if you don't, that's going to falter your business. So.
Yeah. One thing I do want to say. Oh, go ahead, son, and I'll come after you. Go ahead.
I want to explain why I said it's problematic. I have friends that do all types of businesses, whether it's crafting, miscellaneous things, or music. They rap, poetry, or whatever. And I feel like in this social media era, is especially if they're looking at it to gain money. If you're starting out, social media can be your friend because that way you're posting, whether you make an IG page, a Facebook page, or whatever, you're being able to like post the stuff that you're doing. So if you're a crafter, you're making these crafts, and you can post them on social media to see what people are doing. I have many friends that craft. Some of them do different, more intricate, different crafting, and I have friends that do light crafting. But social media plays a big part in how they make their money because you're able to think. But like I said, to you guys' point, there may be services that allow you to be social without you having to be social. But I just feel like for like I said, with the podcast, like we coming from a podcast background, we all have our own little outside things, but from a podcasting background and starting off as bloggers and poets and writers and stuff like that, we're coming from that personal feeling that people know us. So this is why they tune in, because they know they're going to get a personal. It's not really structure. It's not like super structured where it's rigid almost, you know. So it's more of a laid back. I can vibe with them. I can relate to them. But at the same time, it could be a detriment because when people like you guys said with your businesses, people can relate to you, so they don't really look at you. I had the conversation with Akira about Erikia. I'm sorry, I know I'm gonna mess her name up. I know I'm gonna mess up. Erikia, we had a conversation prior to her coming on to the show, and we talked about how when people know people, they don't really look at them as a business person.
Yes.
But sometimes it's to your benefit that they can relate to you, but sometimes it's a detriment. But I think that if you're posting your craft, your whatever you're doing, it brings people can see your work, because it's one thing to say that, hey, I do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
It's another thing for somebody to see it.
And that's the thing. That's what I do. I try to just for me, like I said, I've always been a computer type of guy. Like I used to walk around with my laptop, my tablet, and my two phones. So I'm a social media type of guy. So just for me, I just learned you just have to just flood. You just have to just flood it. You have to flood it because you're a business. You know, it's just like you see everybody. You see all these other sponsored ads coming up and all that stuff like that, and you pretty much have to do the same thing, just to, on that end to get the exposure. But I know I get a lot of word. I know I get a lot of word of mouth. Some people will say call and say, "Oh, I seen you're my friend. You were at my friend's house," because I do advertising. Also, when I do a house, I'll do I keep my brochures, and if I come early, I'll do 5 houses on both sides. I'll drop brochures off within that vicinity or whatever, because the type of neighborhoods I be in, they pretty much use the same type of services. So I said, if they see me doing this person, I'm pretty sure they're going to talk to them, ask them how we did, and that spreads our word of mouth. And then in the springtime, I try to do a lot of hands-on in different neighborhoods and explain to people who we are and stuff like that. Like I said, just make people, feel comfortable with the service and stuff. So that's just pretty much, like I said, I'm always trying to learn new ways to put our business out there and stuff like that.
And I wanted to I wanted to add on, you feel me, to that. You got what like our kid said, what is the business? You feel me? What is the business and what is your goal? You feel me? If you're a recluse and you don't know what I mean, so what's your goal? You want to run a business? Okay. Well, you want to run a business, but you're antisocial, sort of a recluse. So now you got to figure out, well, what's your goal? You don't want to be that big. You just want to have something, a steady income, extra stream of income. Well, then, all right. Well, then it's real simple. Use your network and let your skills speak for itself. Use your natural network, your family and your friends, your circle, whatever that is.
Right, exactly.
You feel me? And then build from there.
Yeah, because each person has somebody that they're going to tell that they trust. Each person has a friend that, or a family member that they trust. They're going to say, oh, well, he does this. You need to use him. So that's how it works. That's how it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
you got to know your goal.
Go ahead.
No, my bad. Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just going to say, that was the one thing I was going to mention is that, I mean, the biggest point is the word of mouth, using the network that you have or using the people around you. A lot of times you don't have to be social. You don't have to be on, social media all the time in order to promote on social media. You can take advantage of the free advertising by making use of other people's support, telling them, hey, can you put this out on your page, or can you put this out to your network? A lot of people would love to do that for other people, especially if you ask them. Right. You just come out and ask them. A lot of times they don't think about doing it, but if you just say, hey, I just need a little help with promoting, this special I got going on, or you see me do this and you liked it, can you reshare it? That kind of thing. I know I'm the kind of person, when I see somebody doing something with their business, or see somebody, trying to put out a new product or whatever the case may be, I always share their stuff. I always post it. But a lot of people don't think about that, that, using their network to promote somebody else and what they're doing. Right. But if you ask them, a lot of times they'll willingly do it because they're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. They probably love you, or they probably respect you, or they probably respect what you do, and they'll do it just out of that love without, asking for anything in return or whatever the case may be. Another thing too, I think people don't think about is, and this kind of goes back to your point, Mark, about trying to do everything yourself. The one thing I do want to caution new business owners, because I learned this the hard way too, and I feel you when you say this, Mark, about doing it on your own, because you're like, hey, it may be a 2-hour job or a 1-hour job or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. But if you can build up a team, a team could be one other person. A team could be a couple of people. A team could just be resources that you'd be like, hey, I got this job, and I'll pop it out to you. If you could take care of the job, maybe it's somebody you trust that has worked with you before, that follows your formula. You can be like, look, I need you to take care of this job while I go take care of these other 2 jobs, or whatever the case may be, so you can blanket your customers with coverage. But also, one thing I had a problem with, especially in the back end stuff, was I was trying to do my own taxes. I was trying to take care of my advertising. I was trying to take care of supplies. I was trying to take care of inventory. I was doing so many different things that I was burning myself out. It's like I didn't get in business to burn myself out. I got in business to, make a better way for my family.
And not burn yourself out.
Exactly, not burn myself out. So I think the biggest thing we got to realize, and a lot of times this is something we miss when we do a business plan, is we have to realize there's got to be a time when you start building that team. Figure out what part of your day-to-day or your weekly or maybe even monthly tasks can be farmed out to somebody who is just willing to help you, somebody that you have to pay, or somebody that you have to train. A lot of times you can even go to some of these schools that do certain types of trade schools and get interns. Some people will be love to get on-the-job training. A lot of times it's just a matter of giving them the ropes, showing them how to do certain techniques, getting them involved in jobs, and then being able to offer that as a give back. But then it also helps you because now you have the additional help that you may need to get something going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sorry. If I could just add two things to that. What I wanted to say was, one, we usually don't have business plans. And I think, people think that a business plan is really just saying, I want to do this next year and I want to do that next year. But you really need to sit down and map out an actual plan, because a plan comes with mentorship, your highs, your lows, those conferences that we're going to, things like that. That has to be within your plan. I think in this age of social media, people really believe the hype. They just become an entrepreneur. But one, you gotta be in business with something that you believe in, because if you don't believe in it, one, we selling ourselves. That's literally what we doing daily. We selling ourselves, but by the quality of our work and our skills. And then the other thing that people really fail is to build their skills. Like, not for nothing, people think that anybody can paint. I can come in here and anybody can. Doesn't mean it's going to be a great job. But, you know, in order to get the money that you want and return the customers that you want, you got to build your skill. I used to, literally, I painted my whole house. Every room in my house, I think I painted like 6 times. Like, I didn't even realize that I was building my skill. I was just bored. And I was broke because I was 21 and I was a homeowner. All my girlfriends was out at the club and I had to pay a mortgage. So mine came out of, my skill came out of, you know, well, it was cheaper to buy a gallon of paint and change my mood or my look than buy a $150 outfit and get my hair and nails done and all that stuff one night. So I just think that people, they don't do enough skill building. They just really take this entrepreneurship and take off on it and really don't have the tenacity for it, because being an entrepreneur is not easy. It is hard. Whoever said that it was easy, they ain't never did this. Like, you know, you have to, like, you got your customer service when you want to be like, please don't ever call me again. When, you know, when, you know, I used to, you know, but when it's your bread and butter, you just got to grit your teeth and say, okay, you're absolutely right. You're right. I'm wrong. We can go with whatever you want. You can give people the best advice and they still do something else, and you got to grit your teeth and say, okay, not a problem, whatever you would like. So I think that, and that's something that's being lost within entrepreneurship. People think because they the business owner that you don't have to have customer service. And you guys, that's a part of your skill building. So I would, that's one of the first things I would tell people. And please, 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 whatever you do, get some contracts, because I done had to learn on my behind. And it seemed like it always hit me in my pocket. So one of the first things you need to do is put yourself a contract together, or get somebody else, get a lawyer to put you a contract together and stick by it.
Yeah, one thing I want to circle back on, getting back to the actual topic of the show too, is skilled trade versus traditional careers. You know, taking the entrepreneurial aspect out of it, because sometimes some of us we use our skills in a traditional workplace, right? But it's not in the traditional sense of, you know, somebody that goes and becomes a lawyer or a doctor or something like that. You know, what's your thoughts on people using those skills at a job or coming to work for a company like yours? You know, what's your thought about people, you know, making use of these skills that they think are just hobbies, or they think that, you know, they are just bored?
I think that it's all experience. Wherever you're applying it, it's experience. So I don't have a problem with you being at your job, but, you know, doing your quote-unquote hobby there because it's convenient, or, you know, just to build your skill set up. I think that's when you start realizing when you're not doing it in that capacity, when you're doing it for other people, or it's just like off the cuff. I think that's when you start realizing, like, hey, I'm pretty good at this stuff, you know. And so it helps you to build. So I say, heck yeah, do it all day long until you realize that you're playing better than the people you're working for.
Well, that's what I pretty much did. The company I was working for, I learned I learned how to do carpet cleaning, and I pretty much, in my own words, I pretty much perfected it. Like I said, I know different type of techniques to get different stains out or whatever, but I learned all that from, you know, just doing it, and like she said, the experience. But I was already, like, as I was working, I was already making my plan, because I was hands-on with the payments from certain customers, and I'm like, well, wow, I could be just making this. I see what the company making, and I know what I'm making also. I could be making all of this, you know. And now I'm good at it, because now they got customers calling me. I'm working there for like going on 3 years, and you got customers calling, like, pretty much they're overwhelming me with work because customers are calling, just referring me, requesting me. I want Marc. And they were overworking me, so like I said, I learned the skill and I just took it and ran with it. And then I added on, like I said, other services. So just like she said, if you want to do it like that, go in and learn it, get good at it, and then, if you want to try to use it to take off, go for it.
Clint?
That was one I wanted. I'm glad you asked that because that's one of the points I wanted to make earlier when we was talking about that. I was going to say that was a form of mentoring too, your job.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you go there, you get a skill. Like, and that also goes to foresight. When I was working I used to work at the library downtown, and I seen, they always need people coming in for notaries, this, that, and the third, and they ain't had nobody there to do it. So I went and learned how to do it.
Yeah.
You feel me? You see a need, and then they let me do it there. They allowed me to do it there. If same thing, you learn something, you feel me? Use your job. No different than when dudes come home or go get their truck driver license, and you gotta work for that truck company, and then you go off and do your own thing. You know what I mean? Use that job, use that skill. It ain't nothing wrong with having that skill set and that job, and then on the side, because that's how remember I was telling you how I got into everything was my cousin. He did plumbing. He started off working for Roto-Rooter.
Right.
You feel me? Got that skill set. Started branching out on his own. Brought me in, taught me. You feel me? And then we was doing our own thing. You feel me? So use that job. Use that job.
And just like with Eric, it's avenues. It's avenues for everything. Like anything you doing, like if you whatever skill it is, it's other avenues. Just like with Eric here, she doesn't just paint; she does interior design. She's setting the person's whole living room up. So it's not just you got some people that just paint and that's it. They don't do anything else. They put your stuff in the middle of the floor. They paint your walls and that's it. She comes in, she painting, and then her other avenues that she's setting it up. Oh, this will go with this color. These type of drapes, making these people's homes comfortable for them.
My room.
Yeah.
Like I just bought me a house. I told me and her had a lengthy conversation, and I said to her, it's crazy because I just bought my house a couple months back. I need to repaint the whole entire house. I already talked to somebody that had them lined up for it, so we're gonna see what they do. Because I already talked to them about it. But I said my room is off limits because I want my room to be my safe space.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hit my room because that's my sanctuary, and I want it to be relaxing when I come in there. So that's the thing, and that's what I talked to her. I said my thing is I always try to promote my friends. Clinton, when he started his business, I was like, y'all need this. Look my boy out. He could do X, Y, Z. You always have some people that actually really support you, not trying to get it. I ain't never asked Clint for a discount. It was, look, this is what I need to do, blah, 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 and let's see how we work this out. And that's what it was, because I support your business. The same way I brought Marc in, I hit him up hey, listen, I know you got a business. Can you come on my podcast? First thing he was like, yeah, I got somebody else lined up too. Let's hit them up. Yep. Now I'm like, all right, give her my information, and we had a conversation. So it's all about it's all about
Eric
that love.
Eric here, my girl, man. Eric here is a good person to talk to. She always be Eric here always be just chopping it up through text. Me and Eric here, last time we just talked Eric here a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. She called me. Look, this is what I'm saying. This is how crazy the networking thing is. She called me because somebody else wanted to talk to me and get some insight and talk to me about, some business planning and stuff like that. And, we talked about that for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, all right, give the person my information, blah, blah, blah. And then we just started sharing information and going back and forth.
Always.
And we all, for 30, 40 minutes. And we always do that. We always do that. So we always share. What'd you say?
I said I had you on the phone for an hour and some change, right?
Oh, yeah, we were on the phone hours and days, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We knew each other for forever. No, but I definitely want you to talk about, because I'm a talker too, so we were right in there. But Eric, We got like about 15, 20 minutes to wrap the show. But this is to your point, Mark, that how quickly time goes. But I wanted you to talk about what you talked to me about the new venture that you're getting into.
Okay, so I started a woman support group called Hang Up Your Heels, and it's about it's a journey for women for health, healing, and growth. I feel like we're the foundation, but we have a lot of cracks in our foundation because we always try to keep it all together. We have this, especially in this day and age, it's like, you know, we got to have it all together. We got to be the mom, super mom, going to school, going to work, doing all these things, and no avenues of growth because we got to have it all together. We got to pretend that we have it all together. So I just decided that we in order to help our community, we got to better ourselves first. So as the foundation, we have to collectively come together. I think that we don't have sisterhoods like we try to act like we got those kumbaya moments, but we don't because it hasn't been taught to us, or we've been taught not to trust it, or not to delve into it. So I'm trying to help my community one sister at a time.
She helped me in that one. Trying to tell y'all. And so we had like a whole hour conversation. I was sitting after I got that phone. I felt like a weight was somewhat lifted off, and I'm like, yo, I need to go sit down and with her what she's trying to do, because that's dope. Like that's the thing that I think we all need that. I think not even just women. I think too, because men are always told to be strong.
Right.
And they consider being emotional or being in an emotional state is weak. And I think that we, as people, like you said, we have to hold ourselves together because we're like the backbone of the. We're supposed to be the backbone of the men to hold their head up high. But I think our men, especially our black men, need to be able to have a space to feel safe and to vent and not be judged, be vulnerable and not be judged, and feel less.
Right. Well, I think that the reason that I feel that it starts with us is because I feel like we're vessels, right? We're vessels. We carry our children. We usually carry the wants and needs of the people that we love as well. But when you don't know how to process that stuff your own self, when you're not transparent, when you can't even be transparent with your girlfriends, there's no way that you're in a space where you allow your man to be vulnerable and penetrate that with you, because you haven't done it yourself. So what my hope is to create a domino effect, that you come into a space where you can grow and heal and learn. Therefore, you open yourself up to, usually when you got something good, you find a new show, you like, girl, this new show on Netflix, this is the bomb, watch it. Now I want people to go to their partners like, this is what we're learning. This is what I realize about myself. This is what I assess. These are the things that I feel like I need to fix and I want to fix, within myself, so that he also sees that growth, and then he can be vulnerable with you. Because how can I tell you my hopes and my fears if, one, you're not even listening because you got it all together on the Instagram, and two, you really you don't know how to process it because that makes you look and reflect on yourself. Yeah. So I'm hoping to create this domino effect, whereas these women are becoming better versions of themselves for themselves first, then for their mate and their children, and then that therefore makes their mate want to open up to them and also open up to their community of men. You know what I'm saying? Because I think, I just feel like we're getting older, and if we keep talking about these kids, and these kids now, they don't have respect, but somebody either raised them or didn't raise them correctly.
Or did raise them.
So, you know what I'm saying? So at some point, we got to be held accountable for what you did or didn't do. So unhealthy things don't flourish in a healthy environment. You know what I'm saying? So we got to become that healthy environment first, and the first step is taking accountability for ourselves. and
right.
what we need to do for us. And then I really believe because, I mean, not to get off course, but, you know, a lot of people are talking about, you know, the Dwayne Wade situation with his child and things like that. And a lot of the comments and things that I'm reading, you can tell who came from a healthy household. You could tell, you know, people who were raised to be able to talk to their parents and tell the parents, you know, I just don't see it a lot right now.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. So, you know, people have these opinions, but they're walking around with these pains, and then they just get to voice it on these social medias and platforms. But it really, truly shows you how sick we are as a community, in all honesty, that you mad at a person for parenting the way that they feel that they should parent their child. You know what I mean? So that's my goal. My goal in reality, my long-term goal is to start a fire and watch that fire spread to other cities and other women everywhere having this same network and goal of sessions and learning, growth, and healing with each other. That's my mission.
That's dope. Hold on, guys. We have a caller. I want to get them in before we wrap the show. I know we got like less than 9 minutes. So, caller, I'm going to get you in. Hopefully you can say your piece briefly because we're about to wrap the show. Hold on. Caller, you're on the line with GFT Radio. What's your name and where you from? Hello? Caller? Okay.
Or maybe just another listener.
Right? I
heard you.
It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. I know you might have been shy. It's okay. But like I said, guys, we got now less than 8 minutes of the show left. It went by so quickly. I really want to thank you for joining us tonight. The dopeness of y'all coming on the show has been amazing. I hope that we hope to take away from everybody listening is, you know, if they plan on starting a business, they understand it and they at least gauge the idea of how to move forward and what the lessons that we learned from today. Because I learned a lot, even like with this podcasting. It's a business. We wanted to make money, also make an impact. More than anything, like make it work for us as possibly an outside business or outlet business, but also as an outlet to help other people and to help ourselves grow as people and learn throughout this process. We're learning every day about different things, how to better ourselves in the podcast community. I wouldn't say we don't have a mentor, but I guess we're making progress as we go. Clint has been our parent through this process. He yells at us from time to time about getting our shit together because sometimes because sometimes in this podcasting world you get like and like when you know what you're doing is making an impact because you know by the listenership, you know by who's listening to what you're doing, you're knowing by people having a about what you're doing and how is it making a positive impact. So like we talk about, and I always tell people we talk about everything under the sun. This Black History Month, we wanted to highlight more Black-owned businesses. We wanted to highlight Black history. We wanted to bring the forefront to not only traditional careers but to skilled trades and things that people are doing and highlight, and that in return is to promote them but also promote us, to bring more listeners to us. But it's a benefit to everybody involved. And so far it's been pretty amazing, and I hope we continue this, and not only just for you guys to come on as talking about your business, but come on as future guest hosts to just talk about whatever the hell the topic is for that week. So we want you guys to know that you're more than welcome to come on. Whatever topic, we have a topic coming on, you see it, you want to come join in.
Exactly.
Never like a closed door with us. We talk to you this day. We're going to continue to support what you guys are doing. And we open the doors to come back and talk about regular topics with us always. So we appreciate you guys for coming.
Definitely appreciate y'all calling.
Appreciate you guys for having me.
Thank you guys for having us.
Let me give the listeners my information.
Hold on, I just want to say something to Al-Kia real quick. I would love for because I want to have that conversation about that Dwayne Wade conversation.
Okay.
I would love for us to have that topic one day. I would love for you to be on.
But we can come on.
I would love to join you guys. Let me know.
We can discuss that next week if you want.
Hey, I'm in.
That'll be dope.
About that, and then
I'm gonna need a reminder text. Because I got a few things going on. Yeah, I'm in.
All right,
I'm definitely in.
All right, get out your info.
I can read it too, so I know where you're coming from. It's different opinions.
Yeah, that'd be good. I definitely want to be listening.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody come back in next week.
I know, right? You come back too, Mark.
Yeah, let's all get in on this.
Right.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So
give
out
your info.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I'm Erica McNair of Modern Design Group. You can reach me on Instagram, Modern Design Group. You can reach me on Facebook, Modern Design Group. Or you could just plain old give me a call, 609-285-3916 for all your painting and interior design needs.
And
Mark
Highsmith. Yep, I'm here. Marc Highsmith, High Expectations. We can be reached at highexpectationsllc.com, High Expectations Cleaning LLC at gmail.com, Instagram, High Expectations Cleaning, Facebook, High Expectations Cleaning. Also, got a YouTube channel coming in about 2 weeks. It'll be High Expectations, so look out for that. Also, we got some deals up on Groupon for some house cleaning. So if any of you listeners need some house cleaning going on, go in there and get you one of them deals. And also, if you just want to talk, but you got to talk about business. Don't call me talking about no small talk. 267.
Right. You don't call us talking about you like the way our voice sounds. Like,
right.
Sir, but what about these calls?
The number is 267-474-5912.
And we are in the tri-state area, everyone.
In the tri-state area, exactly. I go as far as Delaware.
Well, we might get a little further than the money, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Depends on what you want.
They talk about we gonna fly. They talk about we gonna fly you and your van. You gonna fly you and your van out to Atlanta.
You better go.
Right. Hey, it can happen for your mouth to God's ears. Never know. But guys, I love it. I can't wait to be on with you guys next week.
Yeah, this was fun.
This was fun.
Yes, absolutely. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, we got opinions on here. We got opinions. So yeah, I'm ready for it.
No doubt.
But Clint, Willie, give us your info.
Oh, y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Clint. You can hit me up on Twitter at eTrentonGroomie, on Instagram with King2629, and on my blog at KingTruth.com.
You can get at me at Willie Styles everywhere. That's STYLEZ. At Willie Styles on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Willie.Styles on Snapchat. And check out my blog at AskWillieStyles.com. I've actually been posting there again, mostly on the Black History tip this month, but I'm posting a few other topics. So get at me over there. And as always, StylesRadio.com.
Man, you sure you're in on NBC and Fox and all that too?
I think I am. I'm sure I'm everywhere.
You know what? And of course, you can find your favorite girl, Sunny, at IamSunny_D, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. My blog is unreservedlyme.com. I've been slacking. I'm going to post. But check us out. GFTRadioshow.com. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at GFT_radio. Cop that merch, teespring.com/stores/GFT Radio. Like, subscribe to our YouTube page and our Facebook page, GFT Radio. We're everywhere, guys. Google us, y'all. Find us. We everywhere. Let's catch that playback every day, 24/7. Clint?
See y'all in 7 days.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Holla.